Hi everyone, Makozi Racing Internacional salutes you. This is the stream for the top 16 Superstars races that were held today, or tonight, for those of you, wherever you may be. And yeah, we did the Nations Cup with Group 3 cars at Suzuka, and the Group 3 cars also for the Manufacturer Series at the somewhat new Sardinia Road Track B variant. So we're going to go and look at the replays for those races, and yeah, that's pretty much what we're going to be doing this stream. So going into my library, we're going to start off with Nations, considering we did that first. So yeah, Group 3 at Suzuka. You can use medium, hard and soft. You have to use them all. And it was pretty much a one-make race, looking at the drivers, looking at the BOP as it is. So as you can see, it's a GTR festival, basically. So we're there in pole position. We qualified first with a 156.3. That lap we got held up a little bit. Then Mint Matt, he went about half a second slower than us, followed by Jim Lindgren, Gopi or GTR, this is more commonly known as. We've got McEwen, and you can see it's just GTR after GTR, apart from Metal Gear here. Metal Gear, he's driving in the Huracan, that's his choice. And yeah, it's a bit low. Okay, just a second. How about now? Hope it's a bit louder. Nice, but hey there, hey me Motorsport, Clay. Hey Clay, welcome. Finn. Apex Predator, hey Apex. So welcome everyone. Those of you that are just tuning in now, this is the replay of the top 16. So I've already done my races. Yeah, you can see it's just GTR after GTR, and the only person that wasn't able to set a time was Psydog. So he was starting last. And we opted to start on the softs. Let's just check who's on what. Got Matt on softs, got Dylan on softs, GTR, Kewen. So top 5 are on softs. Then we've got Metal Gear's first of the hard runners. Stickman medium, Pure Axle soft, Emery on hard, probably airborne, back in 10th. The mediums and amazing out on this. So it's a lot of people trying at the rear end of the field to maybe get a few positions. I was a bit surprised. Honestly expected a little bit more. Everyone to hug the hards. So away we go. And yeah, just being careful. Turn 1, taking it nice and easy. So it's a long race. It's 16 laps, as you can see. Tire wear is on 5, fuel is on 3. So fuel is a bit of an issue. Tires are also a bit of an issue too. And the important thing was to qualify well. If you qualified top 3, that's basically guaranteed you should start on softs, because if you started on mediums, it would have been very easy to fall back, someone to attack from behind. And yeah, so you can see the top 5, they're all on softs, obviously. Yeah, hey Driftmaster, this is the top 16. It finished about, well, I just did my last top 16 in the manufacturers about 10 minutes ago. So this is the stream for both of those races, both the Nations Cup and the Manufacturer Series. We're not revealing the results. We're gonna let you guys enjoy the video and have a look and see what happened. Amazing how getting a penalty for that very small contact. Not doing any favours. Let's Emery get in front, honourably airborne. Noodles, maybe Noodles doesn't think about it. He's deciding to hold back on the mediums. And you can see that amazing, I'm just not having any luck at this point. Very small contacts that are not doing them too much good. It's a shame. So Seidel, Emery and Medal, here they all go into the pit after doing their one lap on hards. The Emery. So is Revenga. Revenga actually is a fair bit behind. So he's also went in on hards. And those who pitted in, we've got Metal Gear on soft, Emery on mediums, Sidehawk on mediums, and Revenga on softs. Driftmaster, that's a good question. Thank you. That doesn't depend on me. That depends on the management of Gran Turismo, and if they decide to do that, that's great. If not, I respect that. Either way, it's completely up to them, so I don't have any control. So yeah, back to the race. Metal Gear got by Mancunian Kiwi, nice and easy. Lockie is fighting with Airborne, trying to make something work. Just can't get it just yet, and you can see they're amazing how once again having to serve another 1 second penalty. His top 16 is really not up to a good start. So that's really a shame. He's got speed, he really does, and recently he's been putting in a lot of practice, from what I've noticed. So for that to amount to this sort of this kind of two weird penalties, that's really not good. Still, moving on. Up the order, Schnickerman is just sitting there in a lonely race in 7th. Same as Pure Axel. GTR got a 1.5 second penalty. Let's see what that was for. Seems like he cut the chicane. Oh yeah, that's right. So he cut the chicane a little bit too much, and that landed him a 1.5 second penalty. So not the very harsh. It's still a cut. I mean, I don't know, giving a slap on the wrist with something like a 0.5 second penalty would have been damage enough, but 1.5 is that's really easy to kill someone's race like that. So right now it's the top 5 are all pretty much together. Got me, got Matt, Dylan, Gopi, and McEwen. So at this point, just trying to save tires, trying to save fuel, and you can see that we've actually done a pretty good job of the fuel. So the way this GTR works is it really feels like a four-wheel drive car in some corners. Like the initial turn-in is very slow. It's hard to kind of grasp immediately, but you just need to kind of start turning in early. You need to lead the car in a lot more. And yeah, getting on the power to rotate it, it's good. It's a good idea, but sometimes it just the thing is that the turbo on these GTRs is very touchy, so it's hard to make it work. You have to put in a lot of practice to get it just right. Yeah, I agree, Driftmaster. I really like GTR's livery here. It's got a bit of carbon on it. It's got like a blue base, blue metallic, blue pearl, a bit of purple in it, and really, it's a really cool livery. I haven't been able to make something quite so pretty. I only had like 15 minutes to make this, so yeah, apologies for not looking amazing, but still, it served its purpose. But yeah, I agree. GTR, the VLX liveries, they really do look nice. Hey, Cody. Yep, thanks, Byron. I saw manufacturers, and I think you got the win. I'm not sure. You and Lane, it was like you guys were running 1 and 2 at that point in the first slot, after everyone was disconnected. And if you finish second or finish first, congratulations either way. That's a really good result. And I was actually thinking of telling you privately not to do the top 16, because those points that you've got, those are very strong. So I don't think I saw you in there. That's, oh no, you did actually go in there. Yeah, so should have stick with the win, Byron. Still, congratulations. That was a really good job. You only lost. Oh well, there you go. Still good. Like your Reddit cycle. Yeah, Driftmaster, I like this red because it's called Soul Red, and I was making a livery for an event. I felt like the blue was getting a bit too old, and I just wanted to change it up. So I had a look through the real car paints, and I found this, and I was really I really liked how deep it was. Like, it went from a bright red to a dark red, and you got like it really looks nice, but I still need to work on the overall idea. It's not really perfect at all. So at this point, me and Matt were starting to pull away from Dylan and McEwen. GTR, he had to serve that 1.5 second penalty, of course, and he drops back, and that's unfortunate, but still, that probably made things a bit more interesting. So I'd rather be on oh yeah, definitely, Byron. It's good that you did that, but it's very fortunate that you only lost so much, so it's good. How many laps did you run on the self-steering? So I did a 3-stop. I ran six laps on soft for one stint, and I did 7 laps on soft for another stint, so with the hards in between. So I went 6, then 1 hard and 7 softs. It's not the most, how do you say, the most optimal strategy. I would have preferred to have gone 6, 7, then 1, or even 6, 6, 1, then do the rest on the mediums. But I had the slipstream to Matt at one point in the race. So you guys will see. And I decided if I don't use that, I'm going to lose out if I'm not careful. I'm third in mine in the AMG. I'm 58.0. Oh, that's good, Wesley. Well done. Should be happy with that. That's 58.0 is a pretty good time in qualifying. I did a 56.3. The AMG, if you really push it, and if you got, if you had the toe, you could get a 56, a high 56, but it's not the fastest on a single lap at Suzuka. So still, it's a good job. Definitely GTR. This race was just GTR. I had GTR written all over. I tried many cars. I tried the Honda NSX, I tried the Audi R8, I tried the AMG, I tried the Atenza, I tried the McLaren F1 even. So I gave everything a shot, but the acceleration that the Nissan offers is just too much. Yeah. Really is it's a little bit OP. So we can see here I pit on lap 6. Let's just have a look at our tyres compared to Matt. So our tyres are a little bit better, and we were able to save more fuel. So that was a really big positive, I'd say. Let's have a look at Dylan. Yeah, we saved even more than Dylan. McEwen's just there, and this is what I've been noticing about McEwen. He's able to save his tires a lot more recently. Like, he's been improving in that department. So he's been playing it smart. I don't pit in on afterwards. I pit in on lap 6. McEwen, Matt, and Dylan, they continue. GTR, he pits in on lap 6. I go out on hards, and as you can see, I come out right behind Dylan. So this is exactly what I wanted. I didn't want any traffic at all, and these guys were on soft, so I knew I'm not going to be catching them obviously at the end of the lap, but they may go for another lap. They may pit in now, so I had to just try and save as much as I could. Oh, that's great, Byron. Well done. That's good, Wesley. Really good. iRacer did. Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, iRacer. If you the thing is you need to look after your tires, especially the softs. The hards are really they're nowhere near as fast. So you can keep up with softs on mediums if you're fast enough. But you can't keep up with hards and medium. Like, if the guy in front is on medium, you can't keep up with him on hards. It's not possible. You have to be a lot slower for that to work. So you can see Dylan here, he's making a few mistakes. His tires are starting to keep, starting to be a little bit worse for wear. I pull off, knowing that I shouldn't get involved too much with him. See that pure axle? He's done a really good job with saving his tires too. But I just stay behind Dylan. I follow him in to the pit after doing one lap on hards. And you can see, so is everyone else. So we've got Matt, got McEwen. They both go in. Matt goes on mediums. So he's going to go for the 2-stop. GTR, he's once again on the soft, so he's already going for the 3-stop. Dylan there is on the hards, and this is what I was worried about, because I came in, as you can see, right behind Dylan. I came into the pit, so I knew he was going to be doing something else, but he came out on hards, and that was a big kind of hindrance for me. I didn't want that to be held up, but he was kind enough to let me by. I was actually trying to set up a pass, you see, holding the right, but he goes wide himself and lets me through. So Dylan, if you're watching this, thank you. I know that you tune into the stream sometimes, so I appreciate it. Thank you for making my life a bit easier. Really, really thank you. So McEwen, he's also behind on mediums, and he'll probably think about getting a passed on soon too. Driftmaster question: if Mercedes weren't in the game, what would your second manufacturer be? Honestly, there are a few choices, but if I had to choose one, I couldn't really. I still wouldn't be able to choose one. It's a tough choice. I'd say like Porsche, Subaru, Honda, those three. Toyota, yeah, that one as well. Those 4 manufacturers I would have chosen. Maybe Mazda as well, because they would have had the new Group 3 car come out this month. So I would have chose those 5. But if McLaren was better as well, I would definitely go for them. I really like McLaren a lot. I'm a fan of theirs, like Porsche and McLaren, apart from Mercedes. I'm a fan of those brands, so I probably would have gone for those. Yeah. So Mercedes is in the game, so I'm not going to be choosing them anytime soon. I'm going to be sticking with Mercedes for the time being. And yes, they do make beautiful cars. I completely agree. Yeah, no problem, my race. WP, welcome. So the general strategy for this race is it's a fuel saver. Both nations and manufacturers, they're both fuel saving races. You're going to have to play with the car. It's in nations is really a GTR festival. There's no other car that can work. So I mean, you could, if you're fast enough, and I know you are, you could go for the Atenza. Like, that's the only other car I would suggest you choose, because it's like a mini GTR in a few ways. It's got a lot of power, got a lot of torque, and a lot of acceleration. But the weakness it has is on the straights. So you're going to have to use a tow for qualifying and for the race. It's amazing on fuel when you compare it to the GTR. It can, if you're careful enough and if you use the slipstream enough, you can go all the way with it without having to refuel, but you have to save a little bit. So you've got the Tenza, which is kind of an outsider. If you're doing the top 16, you go for the GTR. That's all I can say. It's just too good in everything. You could even go all the way with the GTR, but you have to really short shift a lot. You have to really play it safe and look after the tires. Like if Ferrari, yeah, it's the rear tires, they're gonna let you down. They'll let you down very quickly. If you really like MR cars, I would suggest Audi or Honda. Honda is great on fuel. Struggles a tiny bit with single lap pace. But yeah, apart from the Atenza, Audi and NSX, though, you should go for the Audi or NSX if you really like MR cars. But you just start falling away from everyone after that point. You use the Huracan, it's fast on a single lap, but it isn't reliable. You use the Ferrari, its rear tires are going to die off very, very quickly. Use something like Lexus. Lexus isn't bad. It isn't the best, but it isn't bad either. It's just... this is the obvious car. I can't emphasize that enough. The GTR is just so much better at everything, except fuel. It's one of the lightest Group 3s, it's one of the most powerful Group, if not the most powerful Group 3 car. And yeah, that's all I would have to say about it. So, at this point, we've done our single lap on hards, we've done one stint on softs, now we're on our second stint for softs. So we have to do mediums, and we're currently on a 3-stopper. So GTR, he's doing a 3-stopper as well. He's holding base behind Matt. Matt is doing a really good job with those mediums. We're slowly catching up at this point. And the one thing I regret in this race was, I don't know, I should have done something different, because I refueled. I don't know how to say it. I refueled when I was just on the limit of making it to the end without having to refuel. So I should have pushed a bit more, because I could have gone faster and just made up for that with the refuel, or I should have saved more so I didn't have to refuel at all, but I didn't do really either. So I saved fuel but not enough to skip the refuel, so that wasn't ideal. I should have done something different there, but still we're doing fine for now. 57s on our soft, just looking after the tires, making sure they're even, looking after the fuel as well. So I believe GTR, he pits in this lap, I'm not quite sure. No, he doesn't, so he goes for another lap. It's pretty much a 3-way fight for the lead. McEwen is, he's fallen down with the mediums. And you can see, even though he's pitted at the same lap as me, mine are only fractionally more worn, so going long on the mediums isn't ideal. Still, he's doing a good job trying to get a lot out of that. So, fuel-wise, I'm kind of looking the strongest at this point. McEwen as well. I don't know if he actually refueled. Judging by the gear shifts, I don't think he did. So he's also saved a lot of fuel as well. And yeah, just trying to do my best to catch up to this leading group, obviously. WP, if you're still there, regarding manufacturers, it's also a fuel-saving race. I've forgotten what brand you're driving for. I remember it was I don't know, it was Mercedes and it was Honda at one time, and probably you've changed it. But it is a fuel saver and you need to look after your tyres too. So GTR, he pits in. That can't be, okay, yeah. So he's on mediums. McEwen is just got in front of him. So he's going to have to try and find a way past. Yeah, high drive. Ah, there you go. So, Sardinia. Yeah, you'll be fine with fuel. You will have to refuel. There's no car that I think could make it to the end. Maybe there is, like the Honda or the Tenza. But you do have to refuel. In terms of tires, the strategy I did was I started on mediums, I went on softs, and then I finished on the final lap for hards. The Ferrari to do 12 laps on soft is asking a lot from the rear, so I don't think you could do that. Maybe. But it really depends. Hey Gopi, welcome. My pleasure. I'm happy to do that anytime. If you enjoy that. Just kidding. And still, you did a really good job, despite the penalty that you got. It's a really harsh 1.5 seconds for that track cut. So I was surprised you got that much. I thought half a second would have been enough, but 1.5 seconds, man, that's a bit too harsh. Still, good job, and yeah, you did very well. So at this point of the race, for those of you that are still watching, I was actually going to pit in at the end of the last lap. That was the plan, but I didn't take into account that Matt was going to be in front of me. So I had the slipstream, and I decided I'm just going to use it a bit more and try and get something more out of the tires and out of that toe I had. So I did that. You can see on this 7th lap on softs, I'm holding up, trying to get closer to Matt and trying to use a little bit of his slipstream. Cost me a chance. Yeah, I agree, GTR. I think that's what cost you P2. Maybe also qualifying a little bit better, but still, you did a really good job. P3 isn't bad at all. One thing I thought you were going to be much more of a threat. Not putting you down, because I know you like the GTR a lot, and you're really good at it. Looking at the time trial, I was a bit faster, but I thought if you had the toe for qualifying, if you got everything right, you would have been right up there, even on pole. And considering how you know how this car works a lot more than any of us do, I was thinking now we've got a proper fight on our hands, a fight for the win, if anything. So that was the one thing I was worried about. Other than that, the moment you qualified behind me, I was thinking, oh, okay, now I need to just focus and not let Matt in front, and it'll be plain sailing. So yeah, when we came into the pit, we actually managed to save more fuel than Matt, obviously, due to the toe that we had there, and you can see 11 litres more. And the car uses 7% per lap, so I refueled to 16, sorry, and I pushed it. Pushed as much as I could in the mediums. You can see that GTR, he's right there as well, so that 1.5 seconds, he practically lost 2. So he would have been right there, fighting for the win. Would have been right behind me. So that's what I mean. This is this is Gopi's advantage at this combination. He knows the GTR more than any of us else do. But yeah, despite that, despite what he knows, that penalty that cost him pretty much any chance of top 2, maybe even first. You never know. So he had to fight with Matt. So Matt there is on hards. GTR, if he's able to get a run, he should maybe go for second. He can do it. He's got the extra grip to help him. He's even got the extra fuel at this point. Okay, on the inside. So gets that move done, and that's good. Had the pace for 40s this season, but bottled. Yeah. Most recent memory, obviously, being the South. Yeah, that happened, fortunately. Last corner, last lap. Just missed the apex by a tiny bit. And you pitted him. Oh, okay, yeah, you didn't use the hards. That's what happened. My bad. So you might have been yeah, now looking at the gap, realistically you could have maybe gotten second. First, I would say is a bit too much out of your reach. Just being honest here. Actually, I forgot about that. So GTR and McEwen, they both pitted on at the end of the second last lap to go on hards, and yeah, it's pretty much plain sailing for everyone. So, and Matt probably has to save a bit of fuel. They're leading in front, mediums. GTR, he's on hards, McEwen on hards. Axel is in 5th. Seems to have had a lonely race, a very quiet race. He but still gets up to 5th. That's not a bad result. And he sniffs, so it's a good job by him. Schnickerman, he was 8th, so that's good. Sidog fighting with Dylan there. He's on mediums. Yeah, I see. Yeah, I see that strategy, but didn't have the pace to be okay. Yeah, I was worried. I have to say, I was worried about you. Still, my pace was a little bit slow. I have to admit, it wasn't. In all the practice races that I did, I was going a lot faster. So my fastest lap was a 57.2 during the race, and I was going 57.2, 57.4, 57.5, 6, 8, and I was doing that consistently. Here in this race, I was going a lot slower, so it was probably because I was under a bit more pressure to win. So I wasn't pushing it quite as much, but still I could have gone faster. Yeah, I saw that GTR. I was watching that first race, first lot, from McEwen's perspective. So yeah, in practice I did a 31:48 total race time, and that was doing this same strategy. Yeah. So we win the race, come first. Matt there, he finishes in second. A really good result for him. We'll be pleased with that. GTR, great comeback despite having that penalty. And McEwen in 4th, followed by Purax in 5th. That's the top 5. Schnickerman improving from 8th. Saddle coming all the way from last. Gets 1 second penalty. Almost gets beaten by Emery. Emery telling me that she actually talked to me. Told me that she didn't have quite as much experience with the GTR. So considering, I remember in the first lot she drove the Supra. So despite that, she did okay. Maybe if she had a bit more practice, she could have definitely done better. Still, decent result for her, inside the top 10. And topping that all off, got amazing hour in 10th. So we won that first one. We got a good 380 points. Really beneficial for our Nations Cup campaign. Obviously, we will be retaining the lead for that championship. So going into manufacturers, this was the more important race for me. I didn't put quite as much practice. At this race, I really wanted to win this because I knew Adam, if he won, it would have been very difficult for me to catch him later in the championship. So I had to do everything I could to do well here. Informative as always for snow models. This is very... Oh, well, thank you, Airboss. I appreciate that. I'm glad that you're getting something from this. Happy to help. So qualifying didn't really go too well, as the last top 16 happened for Seaside. Got Adam first, Sidog in second, Metal Gear in third. Again, will be Philpum. Keaton in fourth. Matt in fifth. I expected him to be a little bit high, but still. We've got us in sixth, and this was, I did not want this. I could have gotten third or higher, but the engine just doesn't seem to work too well for me. In recent times I can't get it to work. That's sounding quite good. So we had Noble behind us, we had Emery, Ryan facing Phillips, who wanted to be on TV. Only lost 5 points in the process. He's there in the McLaren, representing our racing team. McLaren, got GTR, Red Mist, McEwen, John O'Stan, I think is... No, we've got DB007. Ranger Oz, finally getting a break. Not finally, but he getting a break after being disconnected so many times. It's good to see. And John O'Stan there in last position. So, if you're still there, again, this is a fuel saver. For everyone that's watching, actually, this is a fuel saving race. So Adam started on softs. Sidog was on mediums, Metal Gear was on softs, Keaton mediums, Matt mediums, me on mediums. Noble, oh, okay, so I held up Noble. So sorry, Noble, if you're here watching this, I apologize. I thought you were on mediums for the first part of that race. So at the end of the day, I thought it was track position. So I was doing my best to try and not let you through. Man, the pace that you had, I was thinking, you've got to be blisteringly fast. Really blistering fast. So I let you through it at the end. I'm sorry. I'm holding you up again. Well, yeah, I saw that GTR. I checked out Lionface's stream momentarily after the race finished, and man, yeah, you lost. It was a small error, but then just touching the acceleration afterwards, that made it a lot worse than it should have been. So starting off, Adam, he's got pretty much a clear track in front of him. Sidog's able to follow the mediums. Metal Gear, he's trying to catch up to Sidog there. You can see he's struggling a little bit. Side of there in his new livery, which is very vibrant coloured Supra. That's nice to see. Just mixing it up a bit. In there on mediums, Matt on mediums too, and I'm just following behind, also medium. So Noble and Metal Gear and Adam are the only soft runners at the front at this point. GTR pits in on lap 1. So yeah, okay, so he pits in lap 1, and this is what happened. Wait, which lap is it? Okay, there it is. So lap 4. Just so that everyone can know. Brakes a little bit late. He's in the toe of Phillips. And you see he takes off a little bit, and then you still don't have it off completely. That's where he went wrong. So brake late, obviously you missed the apex by a little bit, and then you have the throttle on, so you can see it's still on. And yes, you counter steering. The moment you get on, the car grips. You go back off, you get back on, you spin around. You're burning up the rears, engine's engaging and all that, and yeah, left, right. It's really not doing you any good. Thanks for that. Yeah, Keaton. Here, one important thing I wanted to stress was go up in front. It's at the end of lap 2. Matt, he's on mediums, Keaton was on mediums. They're both hitting in now. And this did not help me. Yeah. And yeah, Noble, I agree. It's got its own way of working. But the thing is that you don't want to look at the laps remaining. You want to look at the percentage, and the percentage is how you do it a lot more accurately. That's how you judge the fuel better. Anyhow, welcome, and I apologize for holding you up so much. I didn't realize you were on softs. I thought you were on mediums. Just really nailing everything, because I struggle a bit here at Sardinia. So yeah, sorry about that. I should not have defended as hard as I did. Should just let you in front. Again, I'm sorry. Yeah, it's a little bit amateur, just a little bit. But we will make those sort of mistakes. It's fine. So the problem with the fuel gauge is that it's really not accurate. If you look at the amount of laps left, it will show, like, even though you've been short shifting after a while, the game recognizes that's how you've been driving usually. Or if you're going at a lower paces, in lower revs, the game recognizes that that's what you've been doing. So it considers that that's how you're going to continue. You're not going to be pushing. You're going to continue driving fuel saving. And it gives you a false impression that when you refuel, you're refueling enough so that you can push. But the problem is that you're not, actually. So you can see I really am holding up Noble quite a lot. Again, sorry about that. I was not smart enough to let you by, fortunately. So I think it was now lap 4. Yeah, I take off early, and I'll let him have that. So 4 laps, Noble gets back into. He gets in front of me, his fuel and his tires are worse, albeit he is on soft, so he will be going faster. Emery's tires are also a little bit worse. WDP, here's the top Ferrari driver in Oceania, and here he is on soft, so his fuel is fine. But look at his rear right. Now I'm going to show you Adam. That's his rear right. I'm going to show you Metal Gear. Metal Gear doesn't really save tires much, so that's expected. But Adam versus Lionface, they're not too far off, but it's a noticeable difference. Now it isn't, but it is noticeable over a longer stint. So if you are going on the soft, just take it easy, really. See the Emery, she went into 6th gear. She's fuel saving. Let me just have a look at that. I remember watching Lionface's stream, and he said it was surprising that she didn't have a lot more pace in the 6th gear. But no, she was definitely on a lower fuel map, and she was even taking off, so that's why Lionface was able to get by so quickly. At this point, I'm just trying to stay. I know Noble's pushing it. He's going really fast compared to me, and I'm doing my best to just stay there. It's not going too bad. It's not going too well. Yeah. Yeah, exactly, GTL. Once you figure out how much percentage you're using per lap when you're fuel saving and when you're pushing, then you can start calculating it on paper, and you can start making it work for you. So Saito, he pitted in earlier. He had the traffic. So did Matt. So did Keaton. And they have to deal with that traffic now. Maybe it's helping them. But yeah. Again, Paul got second. Oh, good job, iRacing. I'm not sure if we're talking about Nations, because Nations is still going on. I know the race is still going on right now. Talking about manufacturers, and yeah, good job. Well, oh, yeah, thanks, Range Rose. Well done on getting in. I was worried that you wouldn't make it, because I know the trouble that you've been having recently, and some other drivers too, like Adam, occasionally. But still, good job. It was great to see you in there. It means there is some progress. Hopefully you don't get disconnected as much. It's a shame that it's happening. I remember watching McEwen's stream. Everyone, like half the field in slot 2 disconnected. Sorry, in slot 1, the manufacturers disconnected. So that was also a bit weird. And yeah. To do last 3 laps of map. Yeah, no. Well, I had to do the last lap of my soft stint on map 2 because I was actually burning through my fuel a little bit too much. Just a little bit. So I hadn't saved enough. Still. Exactly. Yeah, I hope so too. Shouldn't be an achievement, but just glad. Yeah, I'm not putting it as an achievement. Right? I'm just saying it's great that you were able to make it, because I'm currently overseas. Some people may know, and like you see Range Rose, he's got great internet. Okay, great, maybe not, but he's got 4 or 5 bars. His ping is nowhere near as high as mine, and he should be able to make it in. logically. He should be able to get in more than I should. I haven't really disconnected once, maybe once, but over the last, I don't know, 15 rounds, I haven't had too much trouble. I've probably disconnected just once. So for me, someone that's overseas that has 2 bars and 1 bar most of the time, I should be the one that's disconnecting more, not Range Ross, and that doesn't make sense, and I don't understand why it's happening. So I hope this is a one-off. Ranger, he deserves more than that. But yeah, we'll just see. I'm just saying, this shouldn't be happening. Oh yeah, there you go, GTR. Although, you didn't disconnect. You didn't disconnect from the first lot. I'm not sure if you went into the first lot. So lap 8, Adam, he's been on softs for 8 laps. He's decided to pit in. Metal Gear, he's still pushing on. Softs, Noble goes in, follows Adam. Line Face, he's following me on used softs. Sidog, he's already pitted in, so he's on fresh rubber, at least a faster compound. He's on softs. Emery's right there too, and Emery did a world of good just getting right there in front of Adam, because if she didn't do that, Adam would have been much more of a threat towards the end of the race. This is holding him up now a little bit. But probably he'll just go for it right now. Yeah, he goes for it right now. And still, it's the small things that that hold other people up, that contribute to your race. If you don't get held up, if you're in clean air or in slipstream, but you're not slowing yourself down to stay behind or to get past, that's very crucial, especially on a track like this. Yeah, I agree, Ranger. I just the best of luck to you and your internet with the coming rounds. I've been watching other people's streams, and I noticed you've been mentioning how much you practice, and that's an amount to nothing. Is like, considering how the things are right now, it must be a little bit of mental stress. So it's not helping at all. Emily loses a bit somewhere. Just doesn't nail the last corner, I guess. Have a look. Yeah, I don't think, somehow she lost a lot in that one lap. So Metal Gear, he pits in on lap 9. Comes out behind this group. Emery passes him. Matt has to stay content there in 7th. So currently leading the race. I was surprised at this, actually. I didn't expect to be leading this early. I was playing the long game. I was opting for a 2-stop. Sidog, Line, everyone in this group here, they were, I think, were going for 3 stops. See there, Adam again being held up by Lion Face. He's on much fresher tyres, but he just having to fight him. It's not good. No, I didn't do the foot. I had to walk the dog. Okay, fair enough. Gopi, that's good. Gotta keep the pet happy at least. I wish you started softs. Yeah, I don't know if you mean me, GTR, but I was definitely not starting softs. Maybe if I started on pole, maybe. But I was planning to go mediums just from the get-go. Definitely not pushing my luck with someone taking the turn. So what I did now, I should have done 9 laps. Looking back, maybe 9. But I wasn't too sure if I could make my softs last 12 laps. So I did 10 laps on the medium. see their side hook, he's right there. I come in to the pits. I'd say it's enough fuel. Maybe not quite as much as I wanted, but it's still pretty decent. And I go out on softs. This was Noble was on soft, and I didn't think this. I thought Noble was going to do the same as me. He was going to be on mediums at this point, so I thought I was going to get held up, but fortunately enough, I wasn't. So this was just a big bonus. It let me save a lot more fuel. It let me do these 11 laps on softs, and I really, this was like a godsend. Honestly, it was just so much luck, like fortune, good luck, that Noble was there, and it all just started coming together after that. I stayed behind him for as long as I could before he started going a bit slower, and yeah, just saving fuel during the soft stint was important. Hey Nitro. Yeah, and you should have probably went medium, Noble. Yeah, thanks a bunch, really. I mean, if you started on mediums, I wouldn't have had this tow at all. You would have been behind me, and I would have been going pretty much the entire race, or about 20 laps, without any slipstream. So you'd imagine I would have finished a lot lower than I did. So yeah, I really appreciate it, mate. Former Makozi Racing Internacional member, lending a helpful hand there. Your friendly neighbourhood Chris Noble. But yeah, Noble started on softs, and this is his second stint on softs actually. So, like many of the other drivers, he's decided to go on for a double stint. I think it was around this time also. Metal Gear passed Adam at one point. Yeah, so there it is. It's a little bit far back. Yeah, it was a little bit too far back. But still, Metal Gear Holland, as many people know him, he got that done. Yeah. Your section is very noble of you, Noble. Yeah. I mean, Noble just, he's a good guy. Met him, I had the honour of meeting him in Sydney in the World Tour there, and he looks tired, considering he has to deal with his son at such a young age. He looks a little bit worse for wear. But still, he's really fast. He hasn't had as much luck with the BOP that he should have. He chose a good manufacturer, and he just got screwed over, basically, in Group 4. So it was a really bad timing, unfortunate timing. I truly hope that Lexus gets some sort of help in the next update, because they went from one of the best manufacturers, especially in Group 4, to one of the worst. And I mean, like, truly worst cars. So they really need a lot of love. When the Mazda comes out later this month, I do hope that love arrives sometime soon, because Noble deserves it. He needs that. He's got that speed. It's just the car is letting him down at this point. Lexus and Jaguar, yeah, GT, I agree. Worse than the no red mist. Get out. don't come in here saying that stuff. The Aston is very good now in Group 4. it's pretty much on par with the SLS. You just need to get someone to drive it fast enough. No offense, you're a good driver, Red Mist, but to find someone that can really push it as hard as I push the SLS, you'll find that they're pretty equal. It's actually one of the better Group 4s. Because it got that weight buff, which has helped out heaps. And I remember it only got like a 1% power nerf, so it's still very competitive on straights. But now the tire wear problem that it used to have is it's been dampened, so it's turned into a very decent car, and I like it. I like how it drives. Naturally aspirated V8, obviously. I always like that. Yeah. McLaren Group 3 is just not in a good place to. Something is wrong with the LSD. I don't know what it is. It understeers too much, and then it snaps, and the turbo lag is horrendous. So it looks beautiful, but it just doesn't live up to what it should be. Like I've said before, there are a lot of cars that should have potential, but they don't. It's a shame, really. How's the Aston Group? Schnickerman, Group 3 Aston is not great. I'm going to tell you that much. It's not the most amazing thing out there. There are better cars for sure, but it's even gotten to the point where the DBR9 is even challenging it in some places, which it shouldn't be doing. The DBR9 is really not the superior car at all. It should be a tier lower than it, but it's starting to match it in some departments. So that's not a good sign. Vantage needs a bit of help, at least in weight. Power is debatable, but weight needs some love, obviously. Nick McMillan is regretting. Yeah, GTR. I've noticed he's not too happy with that. So Sidehawk, who was closing up on us. And what happened here? He went a bit wide? Yeah, a bit wide there on the exit. So he got a 0.5-second penalty, which stopped his charge to close up on me. And this was one reason why he wasn't challenging me for the win, actually. So if he didn't get that penalty, he would have been a lot closer. He could have definitely fought for first. I was not expecting, coming from 6th, to finish first. I was doing everything I could, but I thought the pace that Adam has, the amount of toe that he had behind Metal Gear and Sidehawk, I did not expect to win, honestly. AMG is good, but it's not that good. So the D1 I can challenge. Yeah. Lamb. I'm gonna agree with you there. The Genesis, I mean, what in the world is that? That is not a Group 3 car. Seriously, like the Group 4 Alpha can corner better than it. That doesn't make sense. It shouldn't happen. Yeah. Instead of getting better, it's just getting worse every time. So it's not really a good sign. McLaren's, yeah, I agree, Noble. It's got a very good Group 4 car. Fuel needs a bit of help. Group 3, it is quick in the right hands, but in general, it just is too underwhelming everywhere. On a general note, it just doesn't deliver what it should when you want it to. Bayern doesn't count. Could we ask PD when? And Phillips, I don't have that sort of power in me to ask when the new McLaren 720S is coming. When they add it, they add it. Maybe next update. Never know. I want the new AMG. I'm waiting for that since forever. They're still not giving that, so we'll just have to wait and see. I hope they bring some new Group 3 cars out soon, along with the Mazda. It would be a really nice update if they could do that. Somehow the Genesis got it's supposed to, because it was actually decent. Yes, it was Dodge. It was really it was decent in Group 4. It was decent in Group 3 before, but now it's just nowhere. Genesis, yep, Group 3.5, Group 4 in some cases even. That. Yeah, so he keeps choosing it because he's loyal. It's the same reason why I keep choosing AMG, Mercedes-Benz actually. Yamado Racing or Yamanaka-san from Japan, he keeps choosing Toyota. And yeah, like Mikhail, how he wants to go for Subaru too. So Matt, he's in Porsche, he loves Porsche. Tristan Bayliss or Road Beef, he goes for Porsche as well because he loves the brand, and that's what I like. This is what the Manufacturer Series is about. You're supposed to be loyal to a brand and stick with them even when the going gets tough. And you can see, same as happened for Noble. He stuck with Lexus through the thin and thick of it. GTR stuck with Nissan, Lion Faces with Ferrari, Adams with Ford. About to sell my Lexus. I realize it's definitely well, Noble, I hope whichever brand you choose, it helps you. Listen to team orders. I don't know. We'll probably have some plans inside ART telling you what to do. Be awesome as well as, yeah, I agree. That's right. I mean, the new AMG GT3 and the GT4 car, as well as the Audi GT4, the new Porsche GT4, a lot of GT4 cars that can be viable in here, as well as GT3 Evos and the like. Yeah, we'll just have to wait and see. So I did 10 laps of medium, I did 11 laps on soft. I just made it in. I had 2% left. I was actually in fuel map 2 for the rest of for that last lap on softs because I was afraid I wasn't going to make it. For the last lap here I was on hards. So this is where it all started to come together. I was leading for a fair bit. Adam wasn't catching up as much as I thought he would because he was on mediums. And I knew if I had enough fuel, if I was in front of Adam for the last stop, I could win. And I was really glad that I could do that. See Adam, he's right there. Keaton's right there. Metal Gear's there, and it's turning into a four-way scrap for the lead, and this is interesting. Lucky. So Adam brakes very late on hards. Keaton was trying to go on the outside there, but couldn't make that work, which is never a good idea. Sidog on hards. So Metal Gear is kind of in the prime position at this point to try and do something, so he sends it down the inside of side, doesn't make it work. Can't get it side by side. This is, I think this was the big incident that Adam wasn't too happy about. Oh, so this is a interesting one. Adam left that open. Metal Gear brake late. He would have made that even if Adam wasn't there. Even though he did use Adam kind of as a brake, just to slow him down a little bit, as a support, let's say. But Adam could have held that a lot more to the inside. Yes, Sato would have gotten a better exit. But if you remember the last top 16 that we had at Seaside, Adam knows how to defend. He can defend a lot harder and still make it in front. So, also need to consider he's on hards. Metal Gear just sent that out of nowhere though. So it was kind of from both. He was on mediums, yes. He was on better tires, but that was a little too far away. So let's have a look at this from Keaton. Yeah, Metal Gear sends it a little bit too much, but Adam could have defended that more. He could have seen that coming, especially from Metal. Yeah, and at the end of it all, Sato was the biggest winner. Probably didn't expect Hunt Schnickerman. When you think Metal Gear, you need to think dive bomb. Like if he's behind you, you need to know that he's doing brave moves. He does that. That's him. That's his characteristic of driving. He sends. He's flat out. He goes for it. And you need to see that Metal Gear was on mediums, and you need to know, looking at how far away he was, that he might have been able to stop that. If he was on the inside, the only place that Metal Gear could have gone, he couldn't have gone anywhere. He would have gone into the back of them and wiped out both of them. Metal Gear would have gone a 5-second penalty. Adam would have got him. I don't know. Something would have happened differently, but Adam could have defended that better, in my opinion. So, the interesting thing in this one, at the end, was that Metal Gear got a better exit. And believe it or not, they actually finished at the line at the exact same time. Wherever the line is. It's not showing it. Okay, there it is. Okay, so Metal Gear and Saito, they actually had the exact same time, finishing time, which was interesting. But yeah, Saito just loses out by less than 1,000. Keaton, he's there. Phillips apparently got Emery at the line, from what I'm hearing. Yeah. Desperate lunge, last lap. Oh, yep, last second to the right. That was a good move. Yeah, good job. Good job, Byron. That was really last second there. I mean, if you change direction a second, like a split second after that, you would have hit Emery and she would have stayed in front. But yeah, that's a great job. Noble had to be content there with Knight. From what he said before, he had to be on fuel map too, so that wasn't the it wasn't the best. Everyone, I think, yeah, Byron pretty much just ran out of the line. Yeah, so that was very close with the fuel. You can see there's nothing left. And these four, obviously, very close together. Yeah, we end up winning the race, coming first. So, double win in the top 16. That hasn't happened in a long time for me. And I'm very proud that I could do that. I could pull it off, and I'm especially proud that I could do that in the manufacturer series coming from 6th, because this track doesn't really suit the AMG the most. Realistically, out of other cars, the AMG is not the absolute best at this track. But I was really happy with that, and I was kind of surprised that I won that, but still, really happy. 421 points. Due to the circumstances, we're going to get the 40, which is also good. So that should be our third 40 this season. You can see we're joint first with Subaru and Porsche. So we're going to have 120. So that's going to help our effort to try and gain the lead. We'll see how Europe, how the other regions go. I know that Wong Baguette or Baptiste Beauvoir, he's pushing a lot. He can definitely get the 40 if he tries, even if luck is on his side. And Bonelli, I've been practicing with him as well. He's really fast. He can get the 40 too. So if both of them can get 40, and you never know, maybe Marzan, Bud, maybe they can do well. But if teammates, if you're watching, good luck to you. I hope, I wish you the best for tonight's race. I know you can do it, guys. Just push. You can do it. And the Japanese members of Mercedes team, if they're watching, gambatte kudasai. いいレースがあってください. Please have a good race. Do well. I know you can. Anyhow, we should be leading both nations and manufacturers after the end of this round, so that's great. We've got a campaign for the 2020 season well underway, and we're doing pretty good at this point, so very satisfied. But yeah, gonna start ending it there now, guys. Those were the top 16 races. The Nations Cup, it's pretty much GTRs. It's pretty obvious. You can do a 3-stop, you can do a 2-stop. Both are very fast. It depends on the traffic. For manufacturers, you want to do a 2-stop. I noticed that everyone that was behind me did a 3-stop, and it didn't pay off. That's because of how short this track is. So I don't know, the difference between the mediums and the softs wasn't that much. It's around 0.5, 0.6. So yeah. 2-stop for both, 3-stop, either can work. You just have to really do a lot of calculating, do a lot of timed driving, being careful, saving tires, saving fuel. There's just so much that goes into it to make it work. Yeah, the end of the season, there's 3 more rounds to go. So we've got Nations Cup at Blue Moon Bay with the Roadster. That's a 1-make. That's going to be really fun. Group 3 at Seaside. If it's a standing start, it depends. That's going to be a Peugeot festival now. And a Group 1 at Spa for the final top 16. That's going to be a lot of dirty air to deal with, but we'll see how that goes. Manufacturers, we have the last 3 rounds. We've got Group 4 at Fuji without the chicane, so the short variant. That's going to be good for some of the power cars, pretty good for the Alphas as well, because they can get through the winding corners quickly. We've got Lago Maggiore GP. That's going to be great for lighter cars like Toyota, Renault and Alfa. And the final round is at Interlagos, which is it's a pretty good track for a lot of cars, because that's where the BOP is based around. So pretty much everyone has a chance at this top 16 at Interlagos. It's just getting the lap in, getting the time and practice to do everything right. And tomorrow there's also going to be the Super Cup, which is at the Nürburgring 24-hour layout. It's going to be a lot of fun. Obviously, I really like this track. I'm going to try and work to try and catch medal set a really fast time there. I'm sure I can get close, but I'm not sure if I could beat it. Maybe I can. We'll see. Yeah. For the GR Super GT Cup, this is going to be tomorrow evening. 2 laps at Nürburgring. A lot of tyre wear, a lot of drama, a lot of slipstream, a lot of road car, a lot of tricky corners. That's going to be
And the weather is cloudy.
yeah, it's just so much going on, and plus the weather's cloudy, of all things. So imagine if they put rain into that. That would be even more. Track would be moist, obviously. So yeah, thank you all for tuning in. Done a lot of talking for now. I've done a lot of racing, a lot of practice. I think I'm gonna have a small break, and then I might get to it for the Super Cup to try and practice for that, but we'll see. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate the support, and yeah, I hope your races go well tonight. Remember to play it safe, to be safe during these times, and I wish you all the best, wherever you may be. Stay safe, and until next time, driving with the best.